How's it going, everybody? This is Dominic Minchella. I am the Kansas City Chiefs beat writer on SI and the host of the Kansas City Chiefs Insider Podcast. Thank you guys so much for stopping in. I always do greatly appreciate it. Today, we're going to be talking about a recent ranking dropped of quarterbacks by Chris Sims, former quarterback himself. And I've seen this go around since the day that it got published, where between analysts and fans, there's always going to be their emotions. If you're a fan of any of the top 10 quarterbacks listed on this list, you're hopeful that they're, in a good spot on that list if they're deserving. For example, Jalen Hurts, he cracked the list, the quarterback that defeated the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and he was ranked 10th. So that being said, I've seen a lot of, opinions get thrown around on social media thus far discussing that. But wrapping this into Kansas City Chiefs, as we know, Patrick Mahomes is one of the best quarterbacks that the NFL has to offer. And Chris Sims, at the moment, going into the 2025 NFL campaign, views Patrick Mahomes as the fourth best quarterback in the entire league. Ahead of him is Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson in those rankings. Now, I've seen several, like I've said, on social media as well as analysts react to it. So I thought, why not? I will give my reaction to the news, rather, the rankings, and see I'll let you know if I feel like it's justified. So let's dive into it. So Patrick Mahomes is ranked the fourth best quarterback going into the season. I think that if you were to poll many people, they would have him in the top 5. Some would have him in the top 3. I think that him being a top 3 quarterback is definitely probably where he should be, seeing how all the success that he's had throughout his entirety of his career. Now, one thing that Chris Sims did mention is that he does take playoff experience and playoff play into this. And while Patrick Mahomes has won 2 straight Super Bowls prior to this season, ending the three-peat, he believes that Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs just hasn't been explosive. They've won the game, but at what cost? You're going to have a really good defense. Kansas City always does have good defenses. If you want to stop in and rewatch some of those defensive breakdowns from a couple days ago, I advise you to know what I'm talking about. Chiefs defense, they are top 10. They don't necessarily need to have an explosive offense in order to get the job done. And that is a reason that factored into why Mahomes got ranked 4th. Chris Sims saying that the Chiefs and Mahomes, they play a different style than a team like the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. Josh Allen makes tremendous plays. He is the heart and soul of that team. And while they run into each other, them and the Chiefs all the time, whether it be the regular season or the playoffs in recent years, Mahomes has come up on top. And I understand overall play has decreased similarly to or compared to how Mahomes was playing a couple seasons ago. But I think that when you're looking at that is like Mahomes' high ceiling. And I think that he's still definitely in his prime, but I don't know. I just don't think that it's necessarily fair to rate Patrick Mahomes on the season that he had with the roster that, the Chiefs had last season. The offensive line was not good. There's a lot of holes. That's why it was a main priority going into this offseason to fix that, to add extra depth to make sure that Patrick Mahomes is protected. And even though that he got sacked the most in his career this past season, he willed Kansas City to another Super Bowl appearance. While the Philadelphia Eagles showed out to be the better team overall, the Chiefs deserved to be there just primarily for the fact that Patrick Mahomes was able to make things work for the things that he was given. That being said, I think that there is a strong debate to have a number one quarterback because a ton of things come into conversation. But I think ranking Mahomes outside of the top three is just not right, in my opinion. I think that at best, he's still a top three quarterback. I think that there is a handful of quarterbacks that deserve that spot. You could go from 10 through 5, and that's always rotational. 4 through 1, they're going to be the same guys, and they're just going to be in different orders. I believe that if going into this next season, that if Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes are able to bounce back, once again, win as much as they can, get back to their dominating ways, Mahomes doing it against the likes of Lamar Jackson, the likes of Josh Allen and Joe Burrow, fighting his way into that conversation to be had. Hey, you said that these guys are better than me, and I'm proving myself to be better. Mahomes has that drive going into this season. We've seen it all off season. This guy is still having magical plays through the OTA process. And as we get closer to the 2025 campaign, he's just going to keep on getting better, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that Chris Sims has he has his reasoning as to why he put him there, but I just think that at the end of the day, it's Mahomes has too much experience, playoff experience, championship winning experience, winning in the regular season, making do with what he's worth. And I think that not every single quarterback is gifted in that way to do so. I would love to know your thoughts. Please do chime off and let me know as I put that up on the bottom. You can see the ticker down below. You can follow me over on X at Dom Minchella. I post and repost every single day. You're not going to want to miss any content as we get closer and closer to mini camp as well as to training camp down the line. You can also follow us over at KC Chiefs on SI. We always post every single story from the talented writers that we have. You do not want to miss anything. We cover everything Chiefs. You're not going to want to miss it. We're your best stop all day, every day, Kansas City Chiefs. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you tomorrow. Remember, be kind to one another, and I'll see you.